Hello, hello, welcome to my garden. Today I will invite you into the shades. I will invite you to my woodland garden, and I would say it's such a pleasure to have both sun and shade in the garden, because there are so many great plants which you can grow in the shades. And in this film, I will talk about some of the plants. I will talk about shrubs. I will talk about perennials and also some bulb plants. A bulb plant which is doing very well in the shade is a Lilium martagon, and this is such a great lily, and I can tell you over the years it have been self-seeding here, so we see it in different places here in the woodland garden. And then see here, we are in the beginning of June and there are still some few tulips. This is spring green, and in few weeks we will also have Allium Mount Everest, the white allium in flower, and I think that many people think that they need sun, but they can also grow in, let's say, half shade. In many places I'm also growing Viburnum, opulus, Roseum, such a great shrub. I just like it when it's almost green, and I have it in different places. You can also use it for bouquets, but when you cut the stems, you need to take all the leaves away, and then you take a sharp knife and take the bark off at the end here, and then you place them in warm water. It means that the flowers here, they will not drop. They are just great in bouquets. Ferns are also amazing in the shades, and see this. This is just an amazing plant, and yes, I really love and like the foliage. And then we have the Philadelphus, caucasicus, Aureus, and it's not the first time I'm talking about this plant, but with chartreuse color, it's great also in spring, because it's lighting the planting up. An incredible perennial is also this one. This is Kirengeshoma palmata, and it's such a great perennial. If you don't know it, and if you don't grow it in the garden, I think you should look after it. I would say that you can also grow it in sun. Just now the foliage, it's so decorative, and then it will start to flower by the end of July, in the beginning of August, with the most delicate primrose colored flowers. In my woodland garden here I also have birk, and this is especially because of the white bark here. I think it's so decorative. It's such a great tree, and I have them in different places. A great shade-loving plant, it's also Dicentra spectabilis, and as you can probably see, this is yellow leaved. This variety is called gold heart, Dicentra spectabilis gold heart, and in the sun, where they can also grow, they are finished with flowering, but we still have flowers here, and in very short time we cut them down. We cut them down to the ground, and it means that you will have new growth, that you will have new great foliage. But don't wait too long, because if you wait, they will just go dormant, and it means that you will not have foliage again. So I decide you to, I will tell you to just to cut them down, and then you will have this great foliage. And I would also like to show you one more foliage plant. This is Astilboides tabularis. In Danish, we call it parasol leaf. I'm not really sure how the name is in English, but you can see here, and they can be much bigger, and they are also amazing in the shade. You can see here the plants, they are doing so well here in my woodland garden. And I would also say it's a half shaded woodland garden. This is not full shade, because here we have east, and it means that we have west over there. So we have sun in the mornings, and we also have a little bit of evening sun. This is Roseum. See this. This is also great. I also grow it in containers, in pots, and it's doing very well. And here we have aconitum, and it will have blue flowers in August, and we have, of course, hydrangeas. We have so many hydrangeas in the garden, and I don't think that you can have too many hydrangeas. And see this little beauty, a cranebill, geranium. This is phaeum, and there are so many different species, and they have the most wonderful flowers here. You can see they are lilac, but you can also get them in white and many other colors. And then I have a surprise. I was very surprised when I was passing by this morning, because this is the tree peony, the yellow one, Matteuccia, and see this. And with tree peonies, you will see it's just very, very few days you have the flowers here. And then I will also show you a plant which I have in thousands. This is Allium ursinum. They are coming from the forest. And in the forest we have millions of them. They are great, but a little bit too invasive. They are self-seeding, but this time of the year, here when they are flowering, I just love them. And you can see I also have ferns. And I would like to ask you if you know this plant. It's quite seldom seen. The name is Lilium ovale, and when I use this in bouquets, I also take some of the leaves off, because then you can much easier see the flowers. I think this is just a paradise with all these foliage plants. And now I will show you a little film with a piece of music, and of course I hope that you like it. I hope that you liked my woodland garden, and at the end I will just talk a little bit about this plant. This is Smyrnium perfoliatum, and I have it all over here in the woodland garden. You can see this plant in few places in the Danish nature, and the thing I really like is that it's almost chartreuse. When you sow the plant, it will take 3 years before you will see the flowers. You seed them. You need to seed them from fresh seeds. It can be a little bit difficult to get them. And the first year it will grow down. It's the same with peonies, and it grow down. The next year you will see some small leaves. The third year you will, in the early spring, you will see the leaf coming up, and they're growing very fast. And then in May and in the beginning of June, you will have this amazing plants, and then it will die. It's such a pity. Yes, it was my tour. Yes, you also need to see that we have lilies here. I will talk about them in a later film. I have so much to talk about. Thank you very much for looking. Have a great day. Goodbye. Goodbye.